welcome back to the channel. And today I'd like to bring you a quick video about or discussing The Hobbit. So it is a new release week for The Hobbit. This particular edition is the illustrated edition. So I thought we could discuss The Hobbit and also I could bring you kind of my review thoughts of The Hobbit. And the reason I haven't done this really on the channel yet is because I reread The Hobbit kind of 6 months before I started my Booktube channel. So I felt like I hadn't kind of covered it while I was on Booktube because it was kind of something I did before I went on Booktube. But it is probably my most reread book. It is a book that was read to me by my father when I was young, and it is a book that's important to me. It's one of the first books I bought new. I bought a few used books from bookstores previously, but it was around 1990-ish when I first purchased a copy for myself from one of those kind of little libraries that go around to schools and what have you, and it was a lovely copy of The Hobbit, and I remember buying a paperback and reading through that, and it was what I would have considered one of the first kind of adult books that I had read. I was always a fan of adventure books like Treasure Island and what have you, and yeah, The Hobbit was one that really stuck with me. And I had purchased previously a nice illustrated edition of The Hobbit, but for the 85th anniversary, I believe they commissioned this last year, and it has just come out this week. It is a little pricey as far as hardbacks go. It is considered a special edition, but I paid a little over £30, so you can expect to pay about $40 to $45 in the US for this, which is a little pricey. What does it have? So it has the original illustrations from J.R.R. Tolkien, which is really nice. It's the ones I prefer personally, though I do love the Alan Lee illustrations too. They're excellent. It has lovely sprayed edges. It has a nice hardcover design here with all the runes on it. Also has a nice naked hardcover. So you can see the spine there and the front there. It has lots of illustrations. So I had bought a copy a few years ago, which was the copy I read most recently. Let me just pull that out here. This copy will only set you back about $10. It has, I think it was 15 illustrations or about a dozen illustrations in it. It is quite a nice copy. It has no lovely sprayed edges, but it has some nice illustrated end papers as well. And this is a really good value copy of The Hobbit if you want to pick one up. This, however, has, I believe it's 55 illustrations in it. It also has additional pages beforehand. The Hobbit tends to be about 300 pages in length. This has about an extra 40 pages, extra notes forwards, and it has notes on the illustrations, which are quite nice to have, talking a little bit about the illustrations themselves. And it comes with a ribbon for holding your place there. I'll show you a couple of the images from throughout the book so you can get an idea of the quality of the printing. The paper is very good quality. I wouldn't say it's the highest standard quality, but it is certainly better than average. It has 2 fold-out colour maps as well. Here we go. You've got one there with Mirkwood. You see that? And on the other side it has, here we go, there's the Lonely Mountain. So they're really nice to have as well. Nice little feelies to have inside your copy. I think, who is this for really? I think it's for someone that maybe doesn't want to pay well over $100 for like a full leather slipcase version, illustrated version of The Hobbit, but also wants one step up from the normal kind of $25 to $30 editions. This is literally the next step up without breaking the bank. So let's talk about the book itself. So released in 1937 as really a kind of a story for his children. Tolkien really, what was really special about The Hobbit is it is, I would say, more mystical and magical than the Lord of the Rings. It has a real atmosphere of folk tale or fairy tale to it. You've got a band of dwarves, a wise wizard, a fire-breathing dragon, immortal wood-dwelling elves. these are real kind of like fantastical fairy tale like elements. It has a real classic adventure feel. It is extremely well written, and it is very vividly portrayed. Some might even argue this is the kind of greatest YA book to be written. It is of extremely high quality. Just thinking back to my thoughts on The Hobbit, the whole journey, being pursued by the wolves, meeting the giant eagles, Mirkwood itself, Lake Town, riddles with Gollum and Smaug. It is such a thrilling journey, and it is kind of like an A to B journey, but it is written so well. And I mean, how many YA books can you kind of pull quotes from like these? I'm just going to read from The Hobbit itself. It is the small things, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. It's very insightful of Tolkien, and it's similar to a fairy tale, and it's trying to impart moral stories to you throughout. Here's another one. True courage is about knowing not when to take life, but when to spare one. It's such beautiful sentiment inside the book. It is a book I probably will reread several more times in my life. It is my most read book, and it is a book of very high quality. I'd actually give The Hobbit a 4.6 out of 5.